The person in charge of this cow has been looking after her for the past few weeks, but as you can see, he hasn't made much progress.
Oh wow.
I'm hoping we can.
And I won't let it rush when I see you dance, and the moment comes when I fall and time goes slow. I fall into you.
Okay, so we come to this farm every 2 weeks, but because of the Christmas break, there's been a 3-week gap this time. And there's a cow that went lame after we were here last time, which the guy who trims here has been looking after. He's been trimming her every couple of days for about the past week or so, which she's still lame, and the farmers asked us to have a look and see if we could do anything about it. I've genuinely no idea what condition she's in, but I do know she's currently in a hospital pen, which probably means she's really sore indeed. I'm not actually even sure which cow it is. I just know she has a bandage on her back foot. There we go, bandage and a block. It's definitely her.
Cows like this are kept in hospital pens close to the parlour so that the farmer and farm workers on this farm can keep close eyes on cows just like these. So if they start to head backwards or even start to improve, they can act or react quickly.
I think it's safe to say she is in a lot of pain. You can see that Jan's done a really good job because she is putting some weight at least through that block, but it's still incredibly sore for her. I'm keen to get this one in the crush and see what on earth is wrong under that bandage.
We visit this farm regularly and look after almost 800 of these cows' feet, and Jan works in between our visits, caring for any cows who have incidents of lameness. He's already trimmed this cow a few times, revisiting her every couple of days for the last week or so. Once we've got her into this KVK crush and lift her up in the air, I cast my eyes on something I really don't like the look of.
That's not good. Oh wow. Ah. Tempted to take the bandage off here. Actually, that's what I'm going to do. There's a build-up of it's literally leaking out the bottom of the bandage. I can feel it's really warm under the bandage as well.
It's warm because of the cow's immune system response to what's happening. And the white powder you can see is salicylic acid that Jan has placed on there in a bandage 2 days ago.
Okay, can you grab the hose for me, please?
Yep.
I want to get it washed off to see what we're dealing with. To be honest, it's actually looking a little bit better than I was first expecting. She has a growth up in between her claws. That red part you can see poking out in the middle. I use my fingers and thumb to feel around the coronet to try to understand what's happening within her foot.
Cleaning it up has obviously helped us see an awful lot. I need to be really careful I don't get kicked here though. But I can see lovely, I've got a really good view of it, so that's why I'm going to try and play around here. I'm quick enough. Famous last words. So hot. Nah, I'm going to get it up in the air.
I was always going to lift it up into the air. I just wanted to see what I could do with it on the ground.
Huge amount of inflammation. The trouble is, she's lame because Jan has put this block on, which is fantastic, but the infection is up in here as well. I wish you could see the heat. It's pretty colossal. And then on this side, it's slightly spreading into here. So even although the weight is on this claw, which is what we want, there's still a bit of inflammation in there. I think what we'll do is we'll tidy the whole thing up a little bit more. Sometimes these problems can materialize right up underneath the sole of the cow's foot. So I want to check that it hasn't done that.
The pressure inside the hoof capsule of a cow's foot like this can be absolutely immense. So powerful in fact that it can push the entire hoof capsule itself completely away from the foot. and that would mean a completely delaminated sole and layers of hoof horn that I need to remove. This is very common in cases like this, so I'm trying to strip back as much of the hoof horn as I can with the grinder before having to use the knife.
We've just got it. This is the part that if it was going to delaminate on the sole, this is the part that you would see it in. Yep, it's done exactly what I thought it might. That's the benefit of experience. How contrived to that sound. But when you trim cows' feet all day, every day, for years and years and years and years and years, you get to know what to expect. Same as any other job, really. What job do you work in that experience means a lot? I need to get the side of a knife in under there. See this? Delamination. Oh, well, be causing a lot of pressure build up on the base of her foot as well. Just try and get my knife right in there. Oh, I can hear it squelching. It is incredibly hard though, because this foot has been up off the ground for a couple of weeks now, so it's been dehydrating, and when something dehydrates it just gets harder and harder and harder. You can hear it squelching in there. Oh lass, oh look at that. Milk from the wrong end of a cow. Wasn't sure how much of a difference we could make to this cow. I actually said that to the farmer, because the trimmer here is pretty good actually, but this is going to make a good difference stripping away these layers. Actually, I think I'm going to go back to the grinder for just a second or two to reduce this part of her foot. As I start to grind away here, you can hear how hard that hoof horn is. The pitch of the noise the grinder's making is high, and that's because this hoof horn is exceptionally hard. But you can also see the fluid spluttering out from underneath the layers of hoof horn. Back to the knife we go. Lucky I'm in the gym just now, because this is incredibly hard. Oh, I think we're actually kind of getting to the end of it maybe there. Maybe not. Ah, jeez. Yeah, we are. Ideal, but we're going to have to look around the front of our foot in a second after this. This here needs to come away. Let's get this washed out and then move around to the front of our foot. See if all of this is loose. Well, it is loose, I can see it is. Let's see if it's worth taking it away. I actually don't think it is. I can just peel back these little layers that are detached though. Right.
This growth has formed exactly where the wall horn itself actually forms, the point at which the hair meets the horn, or the coronet, and that growth is interrupting the continual growth of hoof horn, meaning that it's compromised from the get-go, all the way down to the toe.
It is actually starting to come down our frontal wall there a bit. And behind the hoof horn, I call this the dorsal wall. Side wall, because obviously when it's on the floor it is the side of our foot or front of our foot. Right, actually I'm just going to grab the grinder here and thin out this frontal wall. This is a really precarious situation. If she flicks her foot at all, I could dig into the top of her coronet, the soft part above her hoof, and that would be disastrous. Luckily though, I didn't. I just thinned that out enough that now my knife should be able to take much more of it away. So because of that growth on the front of our foot, I really want it completely up off the ground, and then we're going to try and dehydrate it using iodine. But to get it completely off the ground, we need a bigger block. So we shaved down the outer layers of the existing block because they're now saturated with water and the new one wouldn't stick, before drying it with a blowtorch and getting the new one into position. Right, I actually think I can shorten that outer claw just that little bit more, so I'm going to. Whilst I'm shortening this outer claw and getting it back to exactly the correct length, I also take the opportunity to reshape the front edge of the new block. This way the cow should walk much more comfortably because it should roll over as she steps. Right, we are going to wrap this problem, claw. I didn't think we were going to, but I want to get as much iodine onto this problem as I possibly can to try and dehydrate the whole area and encourage the outer layers to die off and new layers to form underneath that dehydrated tissue. And then we even spray down the salicylic acid here, saturating it. The key is to really, really get it on there. Right up in there, Craig.
Yeah, up in the hole, yeah, centre. Yeah.
So we will be back here 2 weeks from now, and this cow is going to probably spend that entire 2 weeks in that pen. We actually want her in concrete, so I'm thinking about it now. I might suggest to the farmer here to put her back on concrete. That way, it sounds weird, you want her in the hospital pen, but really we want her to use those blocks because you need the blood to move within the joints and everything, because blood flow is the key to fighting infection. If she's just sitting there sort of stagnant, not using the muscles in her foot, then the blood doesn't flow and she can't kill off the infection by herself. So I might suggest that you put her on concrete. But we will see her in 2 weeks' time, so if you want to see that video, then make sure you subscribe so that you'll get an update when she's back in. Right, that block's nearly dry, so let's see how she's walking now, although I really, this is not preempting her walking well. Do not think she's going to walk very well at all. I don't know. I'll let you be the judge in the comments if she's walking better or not. I do know though that sore claw isn't touching the ground at all now, and that bandage is biodegradable, so it can stay on for the complete duration of the next 2 weeks, which should allow all that tissue to completely dry out and hopefully heal up.